In this video, we'll see what subjects are discussed in the Bhagavad Gita, what is it all about. But before starting that, let's get to know what is the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, the divine song or the song of God. It was originally spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra approximately 5000 years ago. On the battlefield, when Arjuna saw his relatives, his brothers, his teachers and his grandfather, he was in a moral dilemma and he got confused about his duty. He wanted to give up and deny what rightfully belonged to the Pandavas. He said to Lord Krishna that instead of winning this heavenly kingdom by killing his kin, he would rather live by begging his entire life. Arjuna surrendered completely to Lord Krishna to get his confusion removed and to receive his guidance. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. It is a 700 verses episode from the epic of Mahabharata, which itself consists of 1 lakh verses. It is a compilation of all the instructions given by Lord Krishna and the questions asked by Arjuna. The subject of Bhagavad Gita entails a comprehension of 5 basic truths. First is the Ishwar, the Lord, which means the controller. Second are the Jivas, the living entities, which are controlled. Third is the Prakriti, material nature. Fourth is Kala, which is time. And fifth is Karma, which means activity. In the Bhagavad Gita, it has been said that the living entities or the Jivas are the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. As a particle of gold is also gold, similarly, the living entities, being the part and parcel of the Supreme, have the qualities of the Supreme in minute quantity. What is material nature? This is explained in Bhagavad Gita as inferior Prakriti, inferior nature, and the living entities have been explained as superior Prakriti. Well, why are they called Prakriti? They are called Prakriti because Prakriti is always under control, whether superior or inferior. So, according to the Gita, the living entities, although part and parcel of the Supreme, are considered as Prakriti. In the Bhagavad Gita, it has been explained that it is due to the association with the modes of nature that the living entity is entangled in this material world. Lord Krishna explains what these modes of nature are, how they act, how they cause bondage, and how they give liberation. These 3 modes of nature are the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Above these modes of nature, there is eternal time, and by the combination of these modes of nature and the eternal time, there are activities which are called karma. In every field of life, we enjoy the results of our work or we suffer the results of our work. This is called karma. Out of these 5, the Lord, the living entities, material nature, and time are eternal. Now you may say, how is Prakriti eternal? The manifestation of Prakriti is not to be considered as false, but it is considered as real but temporary. However, karma is not eternal. The effects of karma may be very old indeed. We are suffering or enjoying the results of our activities since time immemorial. But we can change the results of our activities, and this depends on the perfection of our knowledge. The knowledge of what is our constitutional position with respect to the Lord. While reading the Bhagavad Gita, you will constantly encounter the terms Krishna consciousness and perfect knowledge. Well, then what is Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. And the perfection of this consciousness is the full knowledge of Krishna. And our relationship with the Supreme Lord is that a pure soul is always the eternal servant of the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita also talks about the spirit soul. Every living entity has the individual atomic soul called the Jivatma, and the Supreme Lord Krishna resides in every living entity as the super soul called as the Paramatma. Lord Krishna states that this physical body is material in nature. It does not belong to us. This body has been given to us based on our actions and the reactions of our work in the past life. Lord Krishna says the soul is eternal. It never dies. Each soul has a unique identity, and after death, it changes its body the way we change our clothes. And this is the reason that Lord Krishna said, Arjuna, not to fear. By killing your grandfather and your teacher, you are just killing their material bodies and helping their soul to liberate and travel to new bodies. Bhagavad Gita also talks about what is actual renunciation in life, what is sense gratification and how it causes bondage. It teaches the regulative principles to live a balanced life. It also talks about the different types of food according to the different modes of nature and what kind of food should we prefer. The Bhagavad Gita talks about yoga as well. What is yoga? According to Bhagavad Gita, yoga is linking oneself with the Supreme. According to the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 primary divisions of the yoga system. First one is the Karma Yoga, where we offer the results of our prescribed duty to the Lord. Second one is the Jnana Yoga, where one tries to understand the God by means of philosophical speculation. Third is Dhyana Yoga, which is interchangeably used as Ashtanga Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. In this yoga, a yogi relieves himself of all the engagements by the regulative processes of meditation, concentration, sitting postures, and breath control. Fourth one and the final one is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means complete surrender to Lord Krishna. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord without any desire for material profit. Bhakti Yoga is the path that is suggested by the Lord. That doesn't mean the other paths are wrong, but they are just longer paths which ultimately lead to Bhakti Yoga. They are indirect paths to Krishna consciousness, whereas Bhakti Yoga is direct Krishna consciousness. Yes, so this was all about the main contents of the Bhagavad Gita. And if you want to know, is there any eligibility criteria for reading the Bhagavad Gita and want to know about some of the myths that are stopping you from reading the Bhagavad Gita, head on to these videos. And if you like the content, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe it. Thank you for watching.